Information don't stop. I'm about to go to bed. But please listen to this though, for real. Because, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna keep on saying it. Stop voting Democrat. Stop voting for these rhino Republicans. Find a constitutional Republican that believe in the border, that believe in your constitutional rights, that believe in security, that believe in that. Them the Republicans we need. Not the rhinos, that's but anyway though. Well, know what? It probably about one or two rhinos up there that's good. I ain't gonna say that, but Democrats, no good. All of them need to go. Quit voting for them. Listen to this, please. Understand what's going on. Stop it right now before it be too late and be all over with. Listen, hold up. Okay, listen to my man.
Everything. We have a Putin wing in the Republican Party. We have a Putin wing in the media. We have a Putin core in the Democrat Party and in academia. And you'll hear them and you'll see them, and they talk about how the United States may escalate war against Putin. Now, it's they, Lavrov and other lapdogs of Putin, who have talked about nuclear war. It is Putin himself who's talked about nuclear war. We're not. And they rarely ever criticize Putin, or they do it in a passing way in order to say something about the United States and how stupid we are and how stupid our generals are and so forth. Now, there may be that. I mean, Biden is the so-called commander-in-chief. He is a disgrace and a disaster. He actually has the Russians negotiating with the Iranians on a nuclear deal with us. What kind of a fool does that? I will never know. He puts more sanctions on the American oil industry and no sanctions on the Russian oil industry as I speak. What kind of a fool does that when we can use oil to debilitate the Russian economy, the Putin economy and war machine, rather than debilitate you, Mr. and Mrs. America? We do have a damn fool in the White House. There's no question about that. And we should be muscling up our military for any possibilities, and we're not. Despite spending trillions and trillions of massive debt, we are not muscling up the United States military. Russia, China, Iran, the axis of evil, the real axis of evil now that exists. Well, why does this matter? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I personally am sick and tired of hearing the excuses for Putin and the attacks on the United States, that we somehow are going to escalate something. We have been incredibly passive in the face of what Putin is doing. Diplomacy? Diplomacy? Look who the diplomats are. Look at the Secretary of State. He's pathetic. Look at the National Security Advisor. He's pathetic. We've never had such a pathetic team in modern American history, up against true, vile, genocidal maniacs. Xi, the regime in Tehran, and yes, the fascist Putin, who's busy running around and calling the Jewish leader, president of Ukraine, a Nazi. Think about that. The bad guys, the evil guys, are the Russians. They're not the Ukrainians. They're not the Americans. They're not the NATO forces. But what does bother me is the Ukrainians need weapons to defend themselves. They were promised MiG-29s, and their pilots can fight in MiG-29s. That's what they use. All of a sudden, they were pulled back. I don't favor sending American infantry into Ukraine. Does anybody? I don't think even Lindsey Graham does. I don't favor a no-fly zone with American Air Force jets and so forth. But can we at least give these freedom fighters the right to defend themselves? They're now being brutalized. They're being slaughtered. They're being shot in the streets. Their women are being raped. There's torture taking place. What does this have to do with the United States? Do you think Putin is going to be happy with Ukraine any more than he was happy with Crimea, any more than he was happy with Georgia? He's told us what he wants to do. You think he's building hypersonic missiles to attack Kiev? He's building hypersonic missiles to get around our defense systems. The way China's building their Navy and their hypersonic missiles, you think they're doing that to attack Taiwan? Do you think the Iranians are building intercontinental ballistic missiles to hit Tel Aviv? They don't need intercontinental missiles to hit Tel Aviv, for which they want to put warheads on. By the time this administration is done in Washington, the Iranians will have nuclear missiles. China will have conquered Taiwan. And Russia may well be marching into other countries. Who's to stop them? And by the way, I would remind you, Taiwan's not part of NATO. Does that mean we don't help defend them? Israel's not part of NATO. Does that mean we don't help defend them? What about South Korea if they're attacked? Do we not do anything about that? Where is the line for the appeasers, for the sellouts, for the neocon artists who are out there preaching peace or provoking war? You know, these genocidal maniacs, when they see weakness as they did in our withdrawal from Afghanistan, which was an absolute horrific disaster where 9,000 American citizens still are behind enemy lines, where 13 brave Americans were slaughtered for no reason. You know what? When the enemy sees weakness, the enemy strikes. So they see weakness in the Oval Office. They see weakness around the Oval Office. They see weakness, much weakness, in our media. And they see weakness, period. Period. We should be arming up the Ukrainians with whatever they need. That's number one. We should turn on our oil and natural gas spigots like never before, drive the Russia military machine into the ground, and stop their troops cold. Number two, we should cut off all negotiations with Iran immediately, let alone having Russia as the point to negotiate. That's why Biden will not put sanctions on their oil, because he supposedly needs the Russians to negotiate our deal with the Iranians. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News.
Okay. But this was y'all wanted, right? Yeah, excuse me. And they are trying to. Anyway, though, President Donald Trump would never had this. President Donald Trump wasn't trying to destroy our military with Marxism, critical race theory, and all that BS. He was building up our military to be strong. The world is getting more dangerous. You put an idiot in office, you did, I vote for him. I believe in the media will trick y'all to believe in that. Now we got, he's not running the show. It might be a war. He started a war, it might be one. I don't know. Cause somebody might get in his head. He's delusional. Not delusional, I don't know what's wrong with that man in office, but he's not right. He can't think straight. Somebody talking for him. But President Donald Trump, he talked for himself. You ain't like it? So what? But he accomplished what needed to be done. Nobody. Russia wouldn't have been invading Ukraine if President Trump was in office. Like I said, you see weakness. Don't see strength in the United States of America no more. In the Oval Office. They see weakness, man. And then we do go to war. It's not because of strength. It's because propaganda. It's not what it is. It's something else. But it is what it is, though, because you voted that man in office. It is what it is. You keep on voting for these Democrats and these rhino. Find a constitutional Republican. Election coming up. Election already happened in Texas. All that stuff. I don't know why they keep on voting Democrats down there. Voting. I don't know if they want or not. But find you a Republican that's standing up to the global reset. It's for real and it's happening. Find you a constitutional Republican that's standing up for your constitutional rights that your ancestors died for. Quit falling for that BS gun control and critical race theory and all that other stuff. Quit falling for that. That's a decoy. That's to throw you off. Quit falling for it. Open your eyes, open your mind. Get yourself together, man. For real. This is real stuff. They are trying to destroy us. Oh, they be like, America never cared about me. You better start rethinking yourself. You better start, because if they take over, you crying about police on your neck. Oh no, that was wrong. But you protesting with police on your neck, or protesting gay rights or whatever like that, something like that. Or you protesting whatever kind of bull crap to be protesting that don't even make sense no more. A totalitarian government like Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, if they get in power and they take over, that's your least worries. That's your least worries. If they take over this world. And this administration over office is too weak to handle them people. We gotta do it. Stand up for your constitutional rights. Stand up for that side piece or the long piece or whatever. Don't let them try to take away our weapons.